start. Okay, everybody, welcome to Kailul Shira, and we're doing this in partnership with also Breslov.org. And Baruch Hashem, welcome everybody to the Kailul here today. And we're in the middle of learning this beautiful idea of how we can be Mekadesh our Bati Knesiyos, and how can we understand the importance of the Bati Knesiyos, and how they're connected to Yerushalayim, and how Emetz Hashem they will all become part of Yerushalayim. So we're gonna just jump in. We're up to Va'al Kain. It's on the left-hand column of the page that you have in front of you. Okay, Va'al Kain Tzarech Adam Yekadesh Atzmai Kol Kach B'divrei Torah Tefillah. So notice we were learning last week the concept of a Sefer Torah, remember? Where a Sefer Torah you have a cloth, which is a piece of parchment, and the fact that they write, the Sofer writes the letters on the cloth, the letters become intricately part of the cloth, and they can't be removed from the cloth. I mean, you can, if you understand. I mean, sometimes even on the Sefer Torah, there's a question if the letter is good or not. But the letter may became a little faint, but the letter is still there. There's something there. It may not be halachically correct, but the letter is still always going to be there. Once it's written on the cloth, it'll always remain. Now, he was saying like this: we're supposed to be mekadesh ourselves in such a way that when we learn Torah, when we daven, we connect it to our neshama so well. Our learning, like we put the ink on the cloth, and it connects to that. That's how we're supposed to be connected to what we're doing. Until our dibur is totally nullified. In other words, we're supposed to again, and this is a very important thing also, when we daven, when we learn, you daven out loud. You say the words so you can hear it. Shulchan Aruch says when you daven, you're supposed to be able to hear what you're saying. Right? You're supposed to hear what you're saying. But people don't understand that. But some people, they just sit there, you see them in shul sometimes, and they're just scanning. They have the finger, and they're just going. But that's how you connect your words to your neshama, to your guf. If you're not going to say the words, move your lips. Yeah, that's how we learned. That's how we learned Shmon Esrei. We learned to say Shmon Esrei, right? Yeah. Yeah. With Eli HaKohen.
You were saying
in
a low voice. So
yeah. That was Eli HaKohen, the famous Maisa. You're right. Kemai, now he says, Kemai haklaf hamechuber b'oisos acha klaf ha'oisos heim dover echad mamish. The same way that the letters are attached to the cloth on a mezuzah, on a Sefer Torah, on a parshas of the tefillin, whatever the case may be, it's so connected. Ki shneim yachad heim Sefer Torah, because they're really one, the same thing. Every yid is like a Sefer Torah. The Kedushas Levi said that, just a side note, that, we have to always be careful to appreciate every single Jew. And we have to be on good terms with every Jew. Why is that? Because each Jew is another letter in the Sefer Torah. Each Jew is another letter in the Sefer Torah. Now, if we're going to have an issue with any of the people, right over here.
Couldn't find the room.
If we have an issue with any people, and every person is a letter in the Sefer Torah, that means in our Sefer Torah we have a blemish in our Sefer Torah because we don't have everyone included. Now, okay, until the dibur should be chakuk. It should be engraved. It should be enveloped inside the person. See, today people have different hobbies and they have different things and they love to read the newspapers and they love to read all these different things. And those things unfortunately become ingrained in them. they become ingrained in the person. I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example to understand this. If you take, let's say, you take an accountant. A person's an accountant, okay? At any time of day or night, you can approach the accountant with a question, and he doesn't have to think about it. Here's the question. Instantly, he has the answer to that question. You have a doctor, a regular general practitioner, you have a person who has a cold, or whatever the case is, he comes to the doctor. It's not that he has to think it through. It's part of the doctor. He knows it. It's intricately part of the person, so he doesn't have to necessarily think it through. That's how our Torah is supposed to be with us. The same way we're supposed to be professional like that when we ask, when you try to analyze something, it has to be part of you. That's what we call a professional yid. A professional yid is any time you ask the question, you ask something, you have an answer right away. Okay, now, the same way on a klaf, and what's the example, the analogies that we're using over here? The same way, you would never think on a Sefer Torah to write something else, right? You would never put any other notes, you would never write another contract or anything on the Sefer Torah. You wouldn't think of doing that. No one would think of writing anything. Is that true? So the same way we're learning here is when with ourselves. We have to keep ourselves Kaddish and Tar. The same way like a Sefer Torah is Kaddish and Tar, we have to keep ourselves Kaddish and Tar, and not to write anything else, engrave anything else within us. And then this Jew that works on, he's very careful what he reads. He's very careful what he sees. He's very careful about how he learns his Torah, how he has his this with Hashem, how he davens. This year, this mamish says Rebbe Nachman, can be on a higher level than even a Sefer Torah. All of Nema Zois HaTorah Adam, and that's what it says in Bamidbar. Zois HaTorah Adam. There you have the understanding of that the Torah is teaching us that the person can be called a Torah. Zois HaTorah Adam. Dainu she'Adam hazeh ba'atzmai hu HaTorah. This person himself is like a walking Torah. He's a holy Torah. Kamuva zeh b'divrei Rabbeinu Zal in lesson 4. V'al Talmid Chacham kazeh amra b'seinu Zal. Kama tif shoei sha'ara noshei de kaime mikaime sefer Torah loy kaimu mikaime tzurun v'derabanan. Famous words. How important it is that everyone is always careful to keep a Sefer Torah. But do they understand to give proper respect for the tzaddikim, for the rabbanim, and give them the proper respect? And here you see the connection that a Talmid Chacham, that a tzaddik is connected. He's mamish like a Sefer Torah. So don't think you'd only give cover to the Sefer Torah, but you have to give cover to the tzaddikim as well. V'zeh bechinas kosveim al luach libecha, as it says in Mishlei. Shlomo Melech wrote, the wisest man. What did he write? Kosvei maluach libecha. Write the words of the Torah, should be engraved on your heart. Al kisvei al luach libecha. Hayne sheyeh b'divrei Torah kesuvim bay. Mamish k'may oisais hanachtovim b'sefer Torah mamish kana. Like we were studying. So in other words, don't think that the person should learn Torah and he doesn't say the words, he doesn't learn Torah with a niggin, he doesn't learn Torah, he doesn't daven with Hashem. His bite of this, when a person is talking to Hashem, you speak to Hashem. You speak to Hashem. Don't think, speak. Because when you speak things out, you hear what you're saying, it becomes part of the person. And that's the only way we can possibly elevate ourselves to be the Kedusha of the Kedusha Sefer Torah. Okay, now it says now. V'zeh shenismach mitzvahs limud hadibor b'divrei Torah lemitzvahs ksivas tefillin. What does he mean? He says here. Because it says Torah in Dinam. Okay, K'may shekosov b'parshas Kriyas Shema. V'dibarta bam. So what did it say? V'dibarta bam, speak them over very well. Speak over the words. Speak them well. When you're dwelling in your homes. And when you're traveling, when you're on the way. When you go to sleep and when you get up. Now, you're supposed to, we have to, what is that talking about? When you teach our children, we have to teach our children not in a way that it's the same wherever we are. In other words, when I'm traveling, I'm not a different yid than when I'm living in my home. When I'm living in my home, I'm not different than when I'm in shul. When I'm in shul, I'm not different than when I'm in my office. I'm the same wherever I am. That's why the Torah is saying like that. While you're dwelling in your houses, when you're traveling, you have to be the same yid. You have to have that same idea. When you go to sleep, how do you go to sleep? How do you get up in the morning? What time does one get up in the morning? What time does he go to a minyan in the morning? Now, uchsaftam, but the Torah says uchsaftam, and write it. Look at that, uchsaftam. Hainu shat-Torah mazir es ha'adam she'yadaber b'divrei Torah tamid v'lo yadaber devarim b'telim. The Torah is teaching us, speak words of Torah, not the words of b'telim, not words of frivolity. We don't have to speak silliness. There's no time in the world. We have to speak words of Torah. K'may shedosh by saying is ala pasik. Is there? V'dibat tabam. The Gemara says in Yuma, the Gemara darshans this out. This is not just a nice concept. These are words of Chazal. Says the Gemara, and it should not be v'chas v'shalom b'dvarim b'teilim. Hayne she'yadaber kol kach divrei Torah b'shiftoi b'veisoi u'v'lech l'chavaderech u'v'shafla v'chumai. Until the guf is mevatel, the guf is nullified itself, and its ritzaynis to the ratzon of Hashem, because He infuses the words of Torah into the guf so much so that the guf gives in, and the guf becomes part and becomes like the klaf of the Sefer Torah. The guf is connected to the Gibur Kamaya Klaf Shall Sefer Torah Tefillah Mezuzahs. The same way the letters are written on the klaf, and you can't remove the letters from the klaf from the parchment. So too should be with a yid when he learns his Torah, he infuses it into his neshama, he infuses into the guf, and the guf becomes part and parcel to the mitzvahs, and the yid starts doing the things that he's supposed to do. Now, where do we see this? We even see this with Avram Avinu, right? It says by Avram Avinu, when it came to the parsha of the Akedah, Vayishlach es Yoda, he sent out his hand, right? We studied about this before. I'm going to repeat it over here. It says Vayishlach es Yoda v'samacheles. He had to send his hand out. Why does the Torah have to say that he sent his hand out? He said he took the knife and he was going to slaughter. Well, why does he have to say Vayishlach es Yoda? Because Avram Avinu's guf was so in tune. His guf was so in tune with the Ratzon Hashem. His guf understood so much so, he was so working so hard on his guf, on his body, for so many years. His body was so pure and kaddish. His body understood that really Hashem doesn't want this done. But Avram Avinu, it was one of the 10 in the shyness of Avram Avinu, the tests. And we know when we're being tested, Hashem takes away our levels. Hashem removes our levels when it's a test, because if it's an open book test, it's not a test, right? When we take a test, it's not open book, right? Because if the book is open and you know where the things are, what's the test? So what? Well, that shows you how stupid college is. See that? It's ridiculous. No. I mean, it shows you the whole system stupid. Come on, it's not a test if you have the book open. So what do they do? So what do people do in those things? I've seen those things. They take those little sticky things and they put many, many sticky things, and they put different color ones, so they know if it's this kind of question, I'll look over here. Is that kind of question, I'm gonna look over here. So what is that? Yeah, but how does it relate? Is that research or is that a test? How does Torah relate to that? What do you mean? It's not open book, you say. What do you mean by that? No. What I mean is when a Jew is being tested, we have always tests in life. Hashem is testing us. So when Hashem tests us, He takes away our levels. He takes it away. Only what we acquired in our lives with Mesiras Nefesh. If we worked on something with Mesiras Nefesh, we gave our all for something, So that we keep, that's ours. But anything we accomplished, we got just because we studied, we this, or whatever we did, those things leave us. And then Hashem wants to see, who are we really? So he takes away our levels. And that's what it was by Avraham Avinu. If Avraham Avinu,
levels of what?
our levels of holiness, our levels of things that we accomplished.
A simple person, or maybe a chassid, or maybe an amaris, maybe.
But everyone on their level, Hashem tests everyone on their level. On their level, that doesn't test everyone the same way. You are?
Where are we talking about?
We're being every day in this world. Every day. Look, let's put it like this. You get up in the morning and you look outside, it's very cold, and it's snowing, or it's raining, and it's hailing, or whatever's going on, and you're thinking to yourself, I'll sleep a little long, I'll pull the cover over, we'll go to the next minyan. Now that's the perfect test. Why? Because if a person understands that it says it's Gaber Kari in the morning, and if he understood that at the moment I have to get up like a lion, but he doesn't remember that at the moment. You don't remember that at that moment. But now the question is, what are we going to do? So if we jump out of bed the way we're supposed to do, so then we pass the test. I'm just trying to give you examples of things that we're going through all day in our life. Every day there's a different test. So again, the more we work on being Mekadesh ourselves, and again, this is all Mesiras Nefesh. When you work and you understand, you're going to say the words, you're davening, and you're saying the words. It's hard because everyone around you is saying, shh. You ever go to these shuls? Sometimes you say, Ashrei Yishrei V'Secha, and the guy next to you says, what are you doing? Calm down there. What are you doing? I said, wait, sure, I'm supposed to daven. No, we don't daven like that over here.
You don't want to disturb the next person when you're davening.
But he's supposed to be davening out loud too.
Yeah, but it's like Hannah was not making noise when she was.
But that was Shmona Esrei. That's not a good example. Chana was Shmon. That was Shmon Esrei. We learned that. We learn out the halachas of Shmon Esrei from Chana, not davening.
Yeah, but if the other guy's up to Shmon Esrei and he wants.
Okay, I'm not talking about. I'm saying if everyone's in middle of Psuke de Zimra, so everyone should say Psuke de Zimra. I'm not talking about this guy is saying Shmon Esrei and you're trying to daven and disturbing him.
Question whether he should be like loud or just.
Not, but say the words that you can hear yourself. Say the words that you can hear what you're saying.
You don't have to scream it out.
Don't scream. Who said you have to scream?
Some people
Okay. There are some Hasidim, like if you ever daven, if anyone had daven by Karlin, a Karlin stall, if you ever daven over there, so then their mom, those guys are screaming. You can't fall asleep there. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Songs sometimes people get involved with it, like with Kiddush or something. They get
Okay, but then everyone's singing together. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. Yeah, okay. All right. Anyway, okay. All right, so you understand. So in other words, what we're learning here, we're connecting here the idea that it's not the same way everyone understands a Sefer Torah, and everyone understands the Parsha Mezuzah, right? They understand the Kedusha in it, right? No one would ever think of throwing it out. No one would ever think of treating it disrespectfully in a way of bizayon. The same way we're learning is we ourselves, we can have the kedusha greater than the kedusha of a Sefer Torah. It's within our reach. We can have the same levels and even greater level of a Sefer Torah. And the level that the proofs that he gave us, right? The Zois HaTorah Adam. The Torah says that this is the person can be mamish with the same kedusha of a Sefer Torah. All right, so let's go weiter now. V'dibar tabam. Speak them over well. Speak them very, very well. V'dibar tabam. What does that mean? Ukshartam uchsaftam. And wrap them, be kesha, make the kesha, right? Make the knot, wrap them. Uchsaftam. Hainu shetidaber kol kach b'Torah achi is batal l'guf legamrei legabe adibur. In other words, you speak so much so that your body is listening to the words that you're saying, and you see how beautiful those words are, if we understand the Perish Hamilas, right, when we're saying the words, and you see how beautiful the words are, so you're not thinking about your body anymore. The body is mevatel to it. Ad sheyeh bebechinas, next page, please, turn the page. Tefillin and mezuzahs, hanichtavim ala klaf, she'oisos v'aklaf, shneim echad mamish. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam shehakol niv'olei. Okay. Kein yeh aguf mekusha v'nichlal b'adiburim hakedoshim shel Torah. So too the body should be so connected to the words of Torah and Tefillah, achi is batal etzla legamre, until the body just gives in and the body starts to enjoy it as well. And the body starts to enjoy it. Amen. And not just the body, you want to say it. In other words, we're saying like this. If you work on it so much so, that you work on your tefillah, you work on your words talking to Hashem, you work on your Torah, and there's so much so, and you keep saying it, and the body hears it, the body becomes used to it. The body becomes part of it. The body wants it. You understand what's going on here? In other words, the body becomes part and parcel to the limud. We have to always elevate. That's what we're learning over here, right? In other words, if you sell it, the different levels, the Gemara explains us, Chazal teach us the different levels. If you sell this, you can only buy this. If you sold that, you can buy that. Remember the things we learned? You can only go up in Kedusha. You can't trade down. You can only trade up. Until you come to the Tachlis HaKedusha. And what was that? The Sefer Torah. Shiri Kedusha Sefer Torah, Shesham HaKlaf, Mekusha, Ubatel, Legabre Yoisyos. And on the Sefer Torah, the Sefer Torah the letters are so infused into the parchment. HaTorah, shezeh ikar shleimus aliyas hakedusha v'chinas shalom v'achdus. That's shalom v'achdus. So in other words, when we talk about shalom and achdus, what shalom and achdus? When we have a shleimus, we learned about what is we learned before what shalom is. What shalom? We say Amvarach Esami Yisrael B'Shalom. So we learned there's 3 levels of shleimus, right? You have to have shalom in bayroi. You have to be shalom. You have to have a shleimus with Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom im chaveirav. You have to have shalom with the persons, with his friends and his acquaintances. But the most important one is shalom be'atzmai. He has to have shleimus with himself. Remember we learned about that? And how are you going to have inner peace with oneself? Again, if the Torah is what's driving the person, if it's Torah that's driving the person, then the person will have inner peace. Then the person will have shalom and achdus in his life. He'll have an achdus and a shleimus in his life if the Torah is what's driving it. Okay, now we're going to go to halacha hey. Okay, so anyone any questions on what we learned so far? Do we understand the similarities? Everyone understands now what?
Peace is like inner peace.
Shleimus, there's 3 parts of shleimus. Shalom im boirei with Hashem. In other words, I understand what Hashem is doing for me is all hashkacha pratis is good for me. Shalom im chaveirov. I understand the people that I'm dealing with, my family and everybody else, I have to have a shleimus with. And I also understand that shalom im atzmi with myself.
There's also peace like between countries and between like governments.
And how does that pertain to you, sir?
Because I live in this world. I mean,
you live in the world, but okay, but again, we're learning about shleimus about what with oneself.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's a different type of peace. Like,
each one of us is a world by ourselves too. That's world peace.
Right.
You can have world peace in your own world.
But I'm just saying there's a different way of looking at it.
Okay, fine.
Peace in the world. You know?
There's shivim panim la-Torah, right?
Yeah.
Torah is paradis, right? Pshat, remez, drus, soid. So there's many different ways you can analyze Torah. Okay?
It's easy to have peace with yourself and peace in the world.
Well,
you could be happy, but something could be going on.
Maybe. Okay, all right, okay. Let's go back. Halacha hey. Okay, says here now. Okay, al pi Torah mascheles binyan hanhagas hapshitos b'lekuta tinyanas simin ayin ches, which is lesson 78. Ayin Sham Kol Inyanetis. So the Torah over there, 78, is talking about the idea of pshitas. That you have a tzaddik, and the tzaddik is studying his Torah, is doing his things, and sometimes he has to be mevatel his own levels for the people itself. So I'll just give you an example of that. We have different parashas, right? Every week we have another parsha, right? So do you ever think of why we have different parshas? Why was it set up in different portions? So I'll give you an idea. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave Moshe Rabbeinu these different teachings in each parsha, and then Moshe Rabbeinu had to stop. Moshe Rabbeinu stopped on his level, learning the way he was able to learn. He stopped learning in the way he is learning to continue, and he had to now prepare a lesson. He had to now prepare the lesson how he can give it over to Klal Yisrael. In other words, Moshe Rabbeinu is learning Torah with Hashem, and is getting the Torah from Hashem. But Moshe Rabbeinu says, okay, so Hashem tells him, now you stop. Now you have to work on how you're going to process. In other words, you get information, right? You have to process it. Right? You have to first, like much of the nimshal is you download something, right? You download it. But until you process it, you can't open it up, a file on the computer, right? You could download something, but then it has to process. And then you can open up the file, correct? Is that the way it works?
Pretty much.
Right, so the same idea is like this. Moshe Rabbeinu is learning Torah. That's the process. He's downloading. Moshe Rabbeinu is downloading on his grade level.
Yeah.
Right?
He's a geek. Just kidding.
Moshe Rabbeinu is learning on his grade level, but again, he's mevatel his own learning in order to go on a different level, in order to help others, and that's what we call pshitas. It's pshitas for the tzaddik's level. Now let's look inside. Here we go. Vaklal. Here's the klal. Linyanenu. Sheikah derech l'Eretz Yisrael hu al yedei oitzer matnas chinam. Wow, look at that. Sheikah derech l'Eretz Yisrael, the main way to Eretz Yisrael hu al yedei oitzer matnas chinam, the treasure of matnas chinam. Matnas chinam. What's matnas chinam, Dr. Samai? What is matnas chinam? Free. Free. Chesed Hashem. Shu bechinas chesed chinam. This is a chesed chinam from Hashem. Mekayim oilim koidim matan Torah. Before matan Torah, we know that the Torah has a kiyam because of the Torah. So the question was, before Hashem, before we accepted the Torah, how was the world in existence? How did the world have an existence before we had the Torah? It's very simple. It was matnas chinam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu was extending life to the world before we had the Torah. Shal yedei zeh mechayes atzmai et tzaddik hagadol be'eis b'shitusai. And this is the way the great tzaddik, when he's at his level, at his time of simplicity. Look, why is it like this? Every tzaddik has to go. They have to go for a walk once in a while. They have to go and they have to use the facilities. And the tzaddik has to eat breakfast, and the tzaddik has to do this, and the tzaddik has to go to sleep a little bit. So these things are pshit. What?
He's normal.
Yeah, these things are pshitas for the tzaddik. But that helps us. These things help us. We're going to see soon. Uvezer hu mechaya kol hapshutim shebaylam. He gives life, and he extends life to all the pshutim from the world. And even those placed in the low levels that they're placed. Even those that are on the lowest level. On the lowest level. And even those that are in the depths of doom. He can even give them chiyas. The most famous teaching from Rebbe Nachman is never, ever give up. There's always hope. As long as a person's alive, there's always hope. Never give up. Ayin Shem calls a hated. Now, Aleph. Now the lesson that we had before, Halacha Dalid, that we were learning before, was the introduction for what we're going to need now. What's the Kedusha Beis HaKnesses? Kiyeke Kedusha Beis HaKnesses nimshach v'bechinas Kedusha Eretz Yisrael. Remember, we learned that Eretz Yisrael is the headquarter for all Kedusha, and every Beis HaKnesses in the world, wherever it may be, in any country, any city, any little shtetl that you find the Beis Medrash, it's drawing its kedusha, its holiness from Eretz Yisrael. Shesham Iker Aliyas HaTfilah, and we know that Eretz Yisrael is the main place where the tefillah goes up, right? We always daven towards Mizrach, right? While we're here, why are we davening towards Mizrach? Because we're davening towards Yerushalayim. K'maisha Kosav Yispallu Eilecha Derech Artzam. It says in Malachim, Yispallu Eilecha. We'll daven to you, Eilecha, to Hashem. Where Derech Artzam, the way place of Eretz Yisrael. Hay Nekike Kedushas Beis HaKnesses Ubechinas Derech Sheholchim L'Eretz Yisrael. Sheika Koyach Leilech Lichvaych Eretz Yisrael Hu Al Yedei Koyach Masav. In other words, how, and it would be so nice if our friends in Eretz Yisrael would understand this. How could you be Koyvesh Eretz Yisrael? Koyach Masav. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They need to follow the words of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shehu Bechinas Asara Mamoros Shebehem Nivra Olam. HaKadosh Baruch Hu used the Esem Mamoros, right? He had the 10 utterances that he created the world with. Correct? There were 10 utterances?
I don't
We learned in Breslov, right?
great. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was working in
Yeah, you were working then, right. That was the Oitze Matnas Chinam. Chinas HaChesed Chinam. That's the Chesed Chinam. Shehaya Mekayim Oilam Koydem Matan Torah. And that's what I could. What?
I'm sorry. Is that the 10 Commandments? Like 10,
10 and 10. No. Yeah, but there were 10 utterances that the world was created with. And it corresponds to the 10 to the Aseres Adibros. Exactly, yeah.
This is a Kabbalah type of thing, no?
Whatever. Let's go back. Okay, Mavaya Sham Batayra, Mazel Shani Vegam Kan, B'chutz Laaretz Nimsa Bechina Zu. So notice you have over here in Chutz Laaretz, right? Rav Nassan wrote this in the Ukraine, right? We're sitting here in America, right? In Chutz Laaretz, you have the same idea of Eretz Yisrael. We were studying. Where do you have that? In the Beis HaKnesses, right? Because we said that the Beis HaKnesses is the Kedusha draws from Eretz Yisrael. That the land that the Beis HaKnesses is part of the land, like the land in Eretz Yisrael, right? And even when we're in Chutz Laaretz, Ki Yisrael, because sometimes we come into places that is very distant from Eretz Yisrael, right? We can be very, very far. But we're far now, right? Where would they sit? We're 6,000 miles away, or something like that, right? We're about 6,000 miles. But now we want to build a shul, right? We're sitting in a shul now, Baruch Hashem. We're 6,000 miles away from Eretz Yisrael, but we want to build a shul. So the guy will say, wait a minute, you stole this land from us.
They say that.
Yeah, they say that, yeah. They say that.
Just the other day,
What?
Abbas says something about that. The guy Palestinian.
No, they're saying that even wherever you are in the world, they'll say that this land that the shul is on, he stole it from us. It's our land. It's our country. What are you doing here?
Palestinians.
Okay, who cares what he says? Who cares what he says?
I know, but it's friction, you know.
There's no friction. Please don't waste your time listening to that
I saw
garbage.
the headlines on Eretz Sheva. That was
I know. Okay. But if we understand, it's all koyach masav. It's all Hashem. Bechinas asara mamaros. Hashem had the 10 utterances. Bereishis bara elikim et hashmayim v'esaretz. Right? Al yedei zeh yesh lanu reshus lichvoish kol ha'olam lichvoidai likatshai b'kedushas Yisrael. We can make the whole world. In other words, if we understand that it's all Hashem's and it's all koyach masav, and we understand that, like Rashi says now, Kihu Yizbarach bara b'ritzayna v'nasna lanu. Right? What did Rashi say over there? Right? He quotes from Yitzchak. What does he say? List him at them, right? Right. So he asked, why was the Torah started with Bereishis bara elikim et hashmayim? Why didn't it start with something else, with a mitzvah? So because when the Goyim are going to say, list them at them, Hashem will say, you should say back to them, yes, Hashem gave you the land, but the same Hashem took it away from you and gave it to us. Ayin Sham Yisham Nimtzach Kedusha Zabeis HaKnesset Sheyesh Koyach LiYisrael Lekadish Kol HaMekaymis B'Kedusha Gedola. And that's how we have the koyach for Klal Yisrael to be mekadesh any place. We can make a shul, a yeshiva, we can make a mikveh, we can make whatever we have to do. We draw from the kedusha of the Esem Amorais of HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Eretz Yisrael. Because we believe Hashem created the world. And it was His ratzon to give it to us. So it doesn't matter what they say. The problem is they say it and we listen. That's the problem. We listen to what they're saying. We don't need to listen to what they're saying.
They might have a gun if they...
Ki kol olam lo nivra ki im b'shvilenu, because the whole world was made because of us. Because of Klal Yisrael. It was made for us. For Klal Yisrael, Amcha Beis Yisrael, Yisrael Kadesh Nekadesh Kol HaMekaymes Hayidei Tefillah Torah. So we can be Mekadesh all places in the world by setting up a shul and davening and learning Torah and studying Torah in the place where Mekadesh the Makai. Anytime we want to build a holy building anywhere in the world, Beis HaKnesses, Beis HaMedrash. And anytime we want to build a shul or a base medrash, anywhere we are in the world, right? Take if anu kainim makayim. We right away can buy the place. Ki hakol shel Hashem yizbarach v'hu bara hakol rak b'shvil zeh. Notice, what gives us the ability to be able to buy anything in any country to make a shul? It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because we understand that Hashem is the one that made it, and Hashem wants us to have it to make the shul, to be able to do this. Rak ma she'haya ad heina b'rishus mi shehu rachak mikdushos. But even though till now it was in the rishus of someone that was very distant from Hashem, that's fine. That's fine. That was the way Hashem's ratzon was until that time. It should be over there. Hashem wanted that this land should be belonging to whomever it's belonging to before this. Until Klal Yisrael will come. A Yidul will come and buy that land and make that into a shul. Hashem wanted the other people to have it till then, and now Hashem wants him to have it, because that's the whole point of making the world, that we should make a shul, that we should have a makim tefillah, and a makim Torah, and a makim avodas Hashem. Ki yesh lehem zeh koyach, because we have that koyach. Ki hu yizbarach bara rak b'shvil zeh. HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the world for this idea. Hashem made it so we should be mekadesh every makom in the world. Rak b'ritzaynai nasna lahem. It was His ratzon to give it to them originally, which He did. He gave it to the Canaanim, right? He gave Eretz Yisrael to the Canaanim. And you ever notice something? It's still called Eretz Canaan. It's still called Canaan. And you know why? The Sfarim say, you know why it's called Canaan? Because Canaan is like the word hanacha. A person has to make themselves low. They have to lower themselves. And not to think that, we have such a powerful army, we have such a this, and we're so great, and we're so powerful, we're so smart. No, they have to realize it's all Me'ez Hashem. It's all Me'ez Hashem. Ad heina uvritzaynai natla mehem v'nasna lanu, and it was His ratzon to take it from them and give it to us. And that's the answer. We have to tell them, yeah, you're right. You may have been here before, but Hashem took it away from you. He took it away. He's the owner. Hashem is the owner. It's not the United Nations. It's not the Vatican. It's not Jordan. It's Hashem is the owner. And that's what we have to tell them. And if we would tell them that, they would understand, oh, these guys know the secret now. And they would back down. Nimsa. Sheikah Kedushas HaBeis HaKnesses Hu Rak Mibechinas Hanal. The whole Kedusha of the Beis HaKnesses is what? When Jews are koines, they come into the shul. They come into the shul and they're learning Torah and they're davening the way they're supposed to, that the words of the tefillah become part and parcel to them, like the words on a Sefer Torah, like the klaf. Mibechinas HaDerech LeEretz Yisrael. Hainu bechinas koyach masav, through the koyach masav, the koyach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's actions. What was that? The Esam Amorais. Shu bechinas chesed chinam, and that's what we call the chesed chinam. Now, so just to recap what we learned in this beautiful lesson over here, that a shul is intricately connected to Eretz Yisrael. Every shul. Why? Because every shul draws its kedusha from Eretz Yisrael. That's the headquarters for kedusha, is Eretz Yisrael, and every shul draws from it. The makom of the place of the Beis HaKnesses has the same controversy sometimes as we have in Eretz Yisrael, because they're saying listim atem, why'd you take this? But if we understand it's all through koyach masa, it's all Hashem's, and Hashem wanted them to have it, and Hashem took it from them and gave it to us. If we really understand that and we believe that, that could be the answer, Mitzvah Hashem, to bring Mashiach, and we should have a wonderful Shabbos, Mitzvah Hashem. We're going to take our break now.